there. Nolen and Jason here with HVAC Webmasters.
Howdy.
Today is a stupid concept that I've been working on.
He came up with this idea and he's like having doubts.
The thought process is interesting, but it's a little bit off on the analogy. But it's HVAC beer goggles for marketing success. So HVAC beer goggles for marketing. And this would be related, but not quite. And you said there's a non-sexist way to say this, where closing time.
Everybody looks better when you're drunk.
Right.
No matter your preferences.
Right. There you go. I mean, anyway, but yeah, closing time used to. There's a song, "Closing Time."
Yeah.
I forget who was it.
I don't even remember.
Closing time, and then anyway, with all when the lights come on and all that.
Yeah.
Chicks look better. Beer goggles.
Everybody looks better.
Everybody looks better. There you go. Thank you for bringing me into the 2020s here. So anyway, so the idea is for the business owner, for the HVAC owner, to view everything from a marketing perspective.
Right.
Especially as it pertains to a digital perspective. I like to help people. I guess this is something I've been doing on the last several podcasts, is to help them understand the nature of marketing and the importance of it. The longer we do this, the more I realize how few people really get it perfectly. You know?
Yeah. When we started doing this, I guess, it was more of a, people know they need this and we're just providing a necessary service, which we are.
Right.
But it eventually became, they don't know they need this.
Yeah.
Or they might have some idea, but they don't actually know how important it is.
Yeah, if I have something that comes from this, talking about it, I want to help someone's brain clue in to how they can view their marketing so they can be successful as hell.
Right.
And so
marketing beer.
HVAC beer goggles. HVAC marketing beer goggles. So if somebody actually gets their marketing down correctly, they're going to boom, they're going to do great in business. What became apparent over the years is that people call, they think they need marketing, but they don't know why.
Right.
And so they don't understand it. When they don't understand it, they eventually script their marketing a little bit or don't get it dialed in right where it should be. So when you're thinking about your marketing, you need to be thinking about digital signaling of your brand. So you're on Google, you're online, because people go, well, I got a website. Well, I got a Google account. Well, that's just so basic that it's not enough to have you successful. People go, well, I've tried marketing companies and it didn't work for me. And so, well, it didn't work because, and then people throw up stuff and they'll stop thinking about it because they just don't understand it.
It's not that it didn't work for them.
Right.
That company wouldn't have worked for anybody.
True.
Because that company didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. So people will say it's not working. We had someone call the other day and say, my Google ads aren't working. It's like, are they not working, or are they just so expensive that you don't?
Are they turned off, or are they just not converted?
Right.
There's a difference.
What he meant was it was so expensive that it doesn't work for me to earn a profit and stay in business. So if somebody gets the marketing right, if the marketing's not working, it's because stuff isn't being done properly. The website isn't good enough. The content isn't good enough. The signaling from Google isn't good enough. So if somebody starts to think, I do need quality website. I need to have a page for each of my services. I need to continue to get reviews, but the reviews aren't the only thing that'll make my map pack show up.
Right.
That's not the only thing. If I don't have content, a page of content that's relevant within the website, Google doesn't even know that I provide the service in the first place.
Right.
So, and then if somebody starts to think about it, you need to listen to podcasts like HVAC Webmasters, and then begin to understand the concept of what Google's seeing. What are they seeing of you? So they go, wait a minute, Nolen, if I don't have a page for mini splits, they won't know I actually perform that. That's ridiculous. It's an HVAC area, it's an HVAC thing.
And they know that.
Right.
But a lot of people think that when Google is looking at your website for your business, that your Google rank, that they're ranking your business. They're not. They're ranking your website in relation to the keyword that was searched.
Right.
And so if you're not talking about that keyword, they have no reason to show you. Because they're just looking for content that has that's talking about that subject?
Green Day.
Yeah.
Closing time. This is Green
Oh,
Day.
was it? Okay.
Green Day. Anyway, but yeah, so they are judging the digital signals from your brand.
Right.
And they don't, so when you have a website, yes, you have one, but there's fundamentals that must be in place. Titles have to be in there about what's on the page. The city ties into relevancy for the organic. If you don't have a page of content for the category, they won't assume you do this stuff.
Right.
There's a lot of important things that are going on. Do people search your brand? Do you get clicks from direct traffic from other places like a social media account? Do you get reviews and reputation? Are they good reviews? Do people mention stuff within the comments on the reviews? Is the website worked on regularly? Do you have citations and a few links? Like all of these things build the picture for the brand through Google.
Right.
And then you deserve to show up or you don't. And if that stuff goes stagnant, so when someone will like stop a conversation with me and go, Nolen, I have a website and I have Google business profile and I have SEO already. And I'm like, oh.
And then are you showing
yeah,
up?
Well, but it's really poor quality. And that's why you don't show up in ranking.
Right.
And by the way, sir, evidently nothing's ever been done on this website just by anyone looking at it. So you can tell this, I can tell this, and worse yet, Google can tell this. And what that means is there's no digital signaling coming from it. You have 5 or 10 pages of content that isn't even optimized. You could have a page for every single thing that you do and then add content to it legitimately, like with data pins regularly.
Right.
We would handle things like citation. If somebody will listen, sometimes they're just setting their head and they said, oh, I checked all those boxes. Well, that's not how Google's algorithm works to determine whether you're worthy of showing up in ranking.
Right.
And then if somebody shows up in ranking, they can get daily call volume. The big show is what we call it. So 80% of people plus are going to Google to look for services. And once they're there, 70+% click on a non-paid item. Nolen Walker here for Data Pins. You may not know, but I own a software company and we have a proprietary software called Data Pins, DATAPINS. You can search it at datapins.com. This is not white labeled. I actually own this piece of software and I made it for you. It was made for contractors. You can actually take pictures of jobs up to 6, make a caption about the material, the brand, the situation, the repairs, and post that back to your individual pages on your website, just like that. It's super simple. Anyone could use it. It also texts and emails your clients direct links to your reviews, so it helps reputation and reviews, which helps conversion and map placement. The geo coordinate gets grabbed by data pins and Google can tell where you are. So instead of them just seeing reviews, they see all jobs or even estimates that you do. This vastly outperforms just getting reviews. Helps the map show up, helps organic keywords. And remember, those captions that you're putting in there help expand the keywords per page, and it's great regular content. I love it. We made it just for you. It is organic optimization on steroids for both your website, your rankings, and the map placement. Check out Data Pins. I think you'll be happy you did.
I had a conversation recently where someone told me, well, everybody's just using the map now.
Yeah.
And I said, let's back up on that. What do you mean when you say that? And they believed that people are not going to just Google search, but this person believed that people were opening up Google Maps on their phone and doing their search in the Maps app.
Only.
And it's like,
no. Well, it does happen.
It does, but it's not everybody or even the
everybody.
Majority. Most
Even,
people are going to, most people these days, since Chrome is the most used browser,
right.
And in Chrome, all you got to do when you open up a new Chrome tab, all you got to do is do the search right in the address bar. You don't even have to go to google.com, but when you do the search in the address bar, where does it take you? A google.com search results page.
Right.
And that gives you the option. It gives you ads, it gives you organics, and it gives you a map pack if the search triggers.
Google's
one.
never even going to let that happen. They're not going to steer people into the map only.
Right.
They would lose their ability to earn income.
Right.
So that's never even going to happen.
Yeah. It was a strange conversation.
Yeah. And by the way, that I've never even heard of that one. 13 years in biz, 12, 13 years, never heard that one yet. So that was somebody's false narrative that they'd spun up in their head,
right,
based upon bits and pieces of information and based upon them trying to rationalize stuff that they don't understand so they can deal with it. But instead of being open and trying to learn and see what's next to do, you know. So if somebody's going to get this stuff right, they've got to be thinking about it all the time. Hey, in your business, and seriously, the beer goggle thing doesn't work perfectly, but your vision should be, to me, how does this stuff work from, you like my goggles?
Your beer.
There we go. I can't do it. I got glasses.
That's got to be the thumbnail for this episode, Zach.
Here, hang on. Let's do it. You ready? There we go.
There we go.
There's your.
I almost don't bend that way
right.
anymore.
I gotta
getting old.
Oh,
I just threw something out.
Gotta get chiropractic adjustment.
I'm going to the chiropractor this evening.
All right. So everything you look at ought to be from a marketing perspective, because there's no business without the marketing. You're not going to have a successful business. The reason I tell this story every once in a while, but the reason I'm in this business, because I used to do home security, which was a home service, and I realized that nothing worked without great marketing. So I kept doing more and more marketing over the years. I was in the business for like 15 years. I've had this one for like 12 or 13. And finally, I got to this purist standpoint of like a marketing just as in like purity of everything being marketing thought first. I walk in the door of my home security company and like, is everything on marketing? So that's first order of a business. Like before anything happens, check all that stuff. Check all those boxes. And if anything went down ever, what happened to the marketing? So most people, when stuff goes down, they may think about it. They might try to kick the dog on the company or something, but they never think about it properly. It's like, oh, what did they do? Those web guys or this or that. They never think, is it reasonable? What's happening? Did I change anything else? Like we have a client right now that cancels some marketing and relates it all back to wonders why. Because I did that when I was younger. I would cancel marketing and wonder what happened to the leads.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you canceled majority of your stuff. But whether or not your web company is doing what they should be doing or not, your thought process should be, what is happening with marketing today? Am I doing all that I can? Are the phones ringing? Is it a cyclical time that it's down, or is it is it other reasons that it's
be
down?
aware of your seasonality if you have it.
Right. Especially in HVAC.
Yeah, especially in
HVAC. They all have it. So in HVAC, that is a big problem. So an HVAC company will get concerned on downturns that they know happens each year, and then cancel marketing or not do marketing during that time frame.
Right.
Now, certain things like paid probably shouldn't be done on downturn because the conversion rate goes down.
Right.
But organic and basic marketing, if it doesn't perpetuate throughout the year, when the season kicks back up, which is usually only a couple of months away for most people in HVAC on their downturn, either it's fall or spring, then the signaling has stopped and everything's gone back down right when they need it. Hey there guys, Nolan Walker here for HVAC Webmasters. Glad you're listening to the podcast, but I'd like you to become a client. We're a digital marketing agency that have done this for 12 years. I don't think there's anybody better than us at this point in time. We will help you with your design, your code, your content, showing up as high as we can on Google ranking, your organic ranking, your map ranking, your reputation, your reviews. Our digital marketing agency will help you be the best possible online. We can help you with all of it, even paid. We even have a software company called DataPens that's proprietary. We made it for you guys. You can take 90 seconds and do a pin on each job. We call them data pins, and it'll grab the geo coordinate where you're located. It looks like a little red pin drop, but to Google it looks like a digital hand raise. This helps them see where you're working. So if someone doesn't give you a review, they've got this with photos of the job that count as unique content and a caption. Let's say it's Linux air handler replacement with Linux M30 Wi-Fi thermostat. This is additional content that's literally going to drop on the individual service and city pages on the website and expand your keyword search ability. It's crazy how cool DataPens is, combined with the SEO and digital marketing agency services of HVAC Webmasters.com. Guys, check us out. We'd love to hear from you.
I spoke to an HVAC client recently, and I was going over performance with him, and he's doing very well. I must say.
Yeah.
Primary AC repair near me, keyword number 1 kind of stuff.
Right.
He was also furnace heater repair and installation number 1. And I told him that, and he was like, dude, it's 102 degrees outside. I said, but it won't always be.
Right.
And you're already ranking for this.
Right.
I said, this is where you want to be.
Right.
You want to be ranked before you need to be ranked.
Right.
That's why you do SEO all the time.
Right.
And I've had HVAC guys call and be like, well, it's winter. I don't want the AC keywords coming up anymore.
That'll be the next podcast topic. HVAC guys be like,
yeah.
That'll be our next one. You need to work on it, man. That's the way I speak. Not the way you speak, Jason. What happened there?
But he was saying, well, this was last year. It was winter, and he was like, well, I don't want the AC keyword showing up anymore. Take those pages down. And I'm like, God, no.
Right.
I'm like, if you take the pages down, you lose the rank.
Right.
And if you just wait till the weather warms up to put them back up. He goes, well, I don't want to get HVAC calls right now. I was like, well, if it's 30 degrees outside, you're not going to get an HVAC call. But you still need to be ranking for those keywords. He goes, but doesn't that take my slots? And he had read somewhere that you only have so many things they'll show you for. And as digging down, that's what we got to. It's like, dude, they will show you for anything you deserve to be shown for.
Wow.
And because of us, you deserve to be shown for a lot.
Thousands of keywords can show up.
Yeah.
Literally thousands.
Yeah.
But it's maddening when someone says, well, what 15 words are you working on? Or like, we know that.
So, do you mean 1,500?
Yeah, that is not what. But people don't understand that part of it. Like, it's important for any HVAC company to study up enough so that they understand this stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite clients we've had for a long time that understands a lot of this stuff and keeps abreast of it, keeps on top of things just a little bit, is Mission Critical Comfort Solutions out of Kathleen, Georgia. So Mission Critical Comfort Solutions. They'll pop right up if you Google them. They have a mascot of a Viking. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. But
I talk with him about every other month, and we go over strategy, and he's always very receptive.
So he understands enough about it that it grows his business, and he's respectful of the process. He uses an invaluable tool that we offer here called data pins, and he knows
aggressively, almost better than anybody else.
My favorite for it, and I brought it up because you're talking about keywords. Well, he's an unbelievable understanding of it. So when he'll make a caption on data pins such as installed a Linux air handler with a Linux Air M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, and if you search these things in his market, it's either him or Linux first or second.
Yeah, he's often beating the brand.
He's often beating
for their
the brand because he understands it. And when he goes to do this stuff, he's got his HVAC marketing beer goggles on, or the only difference in the beer goggles here is that they show truth.
HVAC beer goggles, they show you the truth instead of the rosy.
Right.
They show you the truth instead of the illusion.
Either one's fine on some level, right? Anyway, so but yeah, he understands it, and so he'll write these captions better, which show up on his website, and Google's like, oh, we didn't know he worked on M30 Wi-Fi thermostats and the other 1,000 things that he puts in here.
Yeah.
And understanding this, these are off topic. I want to talk about this in something else. But did you know that there's been a recent study on stuff? There's like, this is where people need to understand all this stuff so they really understand what's going on with marketing. And if they understood what was going on with marketing enough, they wouldn't do so much effort of their time would go into the marketing, because that is the business. That is where everything comes from. But
yeah,
there was a report that J-Matt had read that he told me about, and he wanted me to bring it up in the podcast. And it wasn't for this podcast really, but I'm going to bring it up because it has to do with understanding of marketing, looking at things from a marketing perspective. If you go onto these like SEMrush and try to search long tail keywords, they don't really exist within the reports because there's not enough search volume for that particular individual word. This occurs on and this is off and getting off a little bit, but when you try to, you'll have low search volume on a Google ad, they won't even let you show the word. I still don't understand why they don't do this. It seems crazy. Guess what percentage of words are low search volume or long tails and don't exist on most modern reports that these guys are doing, like HVAC company owners and other, they'll get on SEMrush and run stuff. Guess what percentage?
What?
50%.
Jeez.
So 50%. Now, this is why, and this gets off a little bit, but if people want to understand what we understand about it and why you should be so focused on marketing on your business all the time, people come up and make harebrained comments, which, no offense, most people think this to be true. Maps is so the first thing that's dead wrong that everybody says, everybody clicks on paid. First thing I'll say is, nope. Do you click on paid?
Yeah, well, that's what I say.
I don't click on paid.
I know better.
I said, well, none. 70% of us don't. Neither do I. Only about 25 to 30% are clicking on the paid. Over 2/3 are not. Right. And then after that, they'll say, everybody's clicking on maps. So define everything. Well, everybody, but most people, and it's like, actually, that's not true. About half of people are clicking on maps for poorly run web efforts.
Right.
Properly run web efforts get even more map placement, but the majority of theirs comes from the organic keyword rankings, or the map doesn't show up where you click through the website. And people don't realize this, because a properly run website with interior pages about your services that expands on keywords properly and content shows up for hundreds, if not thousands of words.
Right.
Now, the guy at Mission Critical Comfort in Kathleen, Georgia, using data pins as a very simple tool. I always like to say a 12-year-old or an 80-year-old could use it. It takes 90 seconds, pops up to 6 photos of a job, 1 to 6 photos, makes a caption like replace Linux air handler and Linux M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, and then tags his AC replacement page and the city he's in. Say he's in Warner Robins. The beer's getting to me. But everything looks good.
This ain't tea.
Yeah. I don't drink about it. I don't drink. Good stuff. Yeah. Anyway. Nolan Walker here for Roofing Webmasters. I want you to consider becoming one of our clients. We've done this for 12 years, have hundreds of clients. We help everybody with their design, their code, their content, showing up on Google as high as possible. Clients get regular call volume. If you've never experienced what I call the big show, showing up on Google organically, which is where the vast majority of the clicks occur, on your map, your reputation, your reviews, your organic keyword ranking, you owe it to yourself to try us. We even have proprietary software that we own called data pins that lets you post pictures of jobs, unique captions that increase keywords and long tail keywords, your rankings on Google, text and emailing clients about reviews, even posting pins and photos and captions back to Google. All this helps your organic rankings. Data pins is fantastic, and the work we do here at Roofing Webmasters is fantastic. Please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. So anyway, he's got that content coming up. Google sees it and says, whoa, this guy's working on M30 Wi-Fi thermostats and Linux air handlers. They literally didn't know this before, by the way.
Yeah, because
they had no idea.
It's extremely unlikely that in writing a page of content that anybody writing content is going to drill down that far, because that would be writing 10,000 words.
So there's reasons that's not done. And that's an excellent topic. Thanks for bringing it up, because I'll explain this to people. I'll say, look, if this is probably moderately accurate. So let's say this month in the USA, 100 HVAC sites are getting written.
Right.
And I know that 90 of them are going to be horse crap. Yeah. But let's assume all 100.
We're doing the other 10.
Let's assume that all 100 were written well. And out of the 100, all had an AC repair page, replacement page, AC replacement repair page. And they had 400 words each, written well, and all unique content. So they're all general in nature, but written well. And so Google sees it and says, you haven't violated anything. You followed the Google Webmaster guidelines, but there's nothing of great consequence here.
You have the minimum amount of flair.
Yeah. You have the minimum amount of flair. And so they see it, and you have a great website, but it doesn't work. Most of you guys have horrible websites, like 98% of you.
Right.
And you don't realize how bad it is until you really look at stuff through the goggles. You go and just be logical. Go look at the competitors' websites and yours, and you'll notice that these two things are not like the other. What was that from Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these things is not.
Yeah.
Like
So your website's not like the ones that are doing well because there's
Right.
missing things. And if you'll put on your marketing goggles and take an objective look at it and know just most basic stuff, you'll see that you need to do stuff. But now you have a little bit better page of content. And you have a page about mini splits or whatever, and the ability for the map to show up and the ability for the organic to show up. But the page is general and mundane, but done well.
Yeah.
And now you go on, the writer that we have that does an excellent job, by the way, does not know what stuff you work on specifically, certainly doesn't know what solenoid or whatever coils you cleaned on whatever type of SEER HVAC system and all these things, the brands and all that. So
Right.
now the expertise in the field's getting entered into it, and you're literally showing up for this. Data pens usage, my favorite category bar none is HVAC.
Yeah.
The HVAC contractor is working on brands and parts and situations that are vastly more complex. Now,
Right.
what's interesting about it is that somebody would say, and I love this conversation about it, by the way, because now there's actual data on it. I like the stuff that J-Man gave to me because now I can bring this up. People will say, well, and I put words in people's mouths when I'm talking to them on the phone because I know they think about it. They say, well, Nolan, who the hell ever types in M30 Wi-Fi thermostat and Linux air handlers? Well, not that many people. And say, aha, I caught you. Well, no, 50% of people type in long-tail keyword terms. Linux air handlers and M30 Wi-Fi thermostats, what if you only got 1 or 2 jobs per year on each of those categories? You picked up 4 jobs for both those items. But you work on hundreds of weird things, brands and parts.
Exactly.
And all of that is a cumulative whole being placed 10 words at a time, let's say on average on the caption. The AC repair page and the AC replacement page for an HVAC Webmasters client, which has excellence of service. There is no one better than us. It was the guy, Conor McGregor, is that the guy?
The MMA guy?
Yeah, he was speaking with Tony Robbins, and I liked it. He's super confident. I would say cocky, but he is the best, so he's not cocky.
Yeah, he kind of earned it. Yeah.
Kind of not cocky.
Arrogant, not cocky.
But rightfully so. So he was acting humble. And he's like, oh, screw it, Tony. I'm not going to, this fake humbleness isn't me. I'm simply the best there is. Nobody beats me, But yeah, we used to talk about it and I'd act, screw it. Nobody beats us on this stuff. But when this stuff is entered in, and then the client does this simple thing that provides this miraculously unique content. And they understand the nature of it because the client cared enough to understand it and put on their marketing goggles and took some sort of minor action, 90 seconds of simplistic action. Web app, tagged a few things, wrote not even a complete sentence, 10 words, replace Linux air handler and Linux M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, how many words that is. And, we'll put this on the AC repair page and the...
whatever city.
Yeah, Warner Robins, Kathleen Georgia page, or whatever page. And then client cell phone, pen. And then it grabbed the geo coordinates, wrapped it in schema, looked like a digital hand raise, put 3 unique photos on there and 10 words of uniqueness on there that was directly relevant to the page in question.
Right.
That
so much happens when they hit that button.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And it went up to Google business profile with the photos in the caption. Google spiders it 3 days later and says, oh my God, thanks Mission Critical Comfort Solutions. More information about Linux and coil cleaning. And who knew? And by the way, this is the best damn AC repair page in the area.
Right.
There's some other ones. There's about 20 guys that have something really similar with the 400 words of generic content that they didn't violate Google rules with. But yours gets validated. And holy crap, you've done 100 pins on this page now.
Just on that page.
Just on this one page, raising your hand, validating the work of this service. This now has this extra credibility that something's been done with unique geo coordinates wrapped in schema code, which thank you for doing that so we can tell where work's being done, which validates the service in your company, makes us feel more comfortable and trusted with your brand.
What you do, where you do it.
What do you do, where you do it, with unique photos that we can tell is unique, with very relevant data that is on an expertise level that we have not seen on a local level.
Right.
This is just one stupid thing, by the way, or great thing that you can do that is part of viewing your business as this marketing medium.
Right.
This guy shows up for thousands and thousands of keywords. And I'm not exaggerating at all. It cuts off at, I think, $9.99 or something.
It shows you, the Google Search Console shows you your top 1,000.
Top 1,000.
But that's not all you have. That's just what they display.
Right.
And, kind of making the point on the long tail keywords a little, just very crystal clear. People, like an HVAC guy, will tend to focus on, I want AC repair or AC installation. I want that primary keyword. Okay, you can have those two primary keywords, or you can have 2,000 long tail keywords.
Well, there's no either or.
Okay, yeah, I put that wrong. You can have both. But of those two things, the 2,000 long tail keywords are actually going to bring you more business.
They will, agreed. So they will bring you more business because of the clicks, and you'll dominate your market quicker in this. So if an HVAC company owner is sitting there, you're like, I've heard this takes, these are all reasons you need to like study up on it and view the marketing properly. I've heard this takes, 6 months, a year, and these guys are all these false narratives.
Yeah.
To deal with someone's not understanding of it or fear or whatever it is, they must spend $10,000. No, they're not spending that much. You can get up and dominate. And when you do something properly, before you dominate for the two keywords that Jason is talking about, you can have tons of long tails showing up because the data is not even represented in your local market.
Right. Nobody else is going for it more often than not.
Well, no, they're not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not at all. I mean, our clients will actually show up and often beat the manufacturers out because of the user intent meeting the actual relevance of the word. So if with ultimate credibility, and I'll explain that, you can have somebody that has a Linux mention or name on a page, or even a page for Linux. And the user intent is to repair the Linux system. So Linux HVAC repair. Google, if there's not trust and credibility with that, will show Linux first no matter what.
Right, because they're established.
They're established and credible, but they know the user intent was not to reach the supplier to order bulk goods or to establish a supplier relationship. Why did they show Linux number one? Because the local HVAC companies' marketing efforts are so stinking poorly done
that they didn't inform Google that they do that.
They did inform them possibly, but not in a credible enough manner to match the user intent up with the direct thing needed, which is a local service company.
Right.
Our clients will often beat people out for the manufacturer because that has been established, because they're discussing all the brands regularly.
Right. Not
just once in a bullet point. And if people want to know why this stuff happens or doesn't happen, it's very clear why it happens and doesn't happen. It's very clear why Mission Critical Comfort is successful and dominant for thousands of keywords in their market and gets daily phone call volume and adds trucks and has success. Like that's when
he keeps sending me new team pictures and the team keeps growing.
We need to have we need to turn this into a whole thing to where we edit clients' faces that do well and stick the marketing beer goggles on it, success, and like lowering the pimp glasses will lower the beer goggles. Play some old school pimp music. All right. Anyway, but I love those. I know that's old, but I love it when they drop the pimp glasses. So when somebody does a drop the mic moment, and they have their little 10 seconds of Instagram fame, and some dude roasts somebody, and they drop that shit down. I'm it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Every time it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should do that. But anyway, so other things about the long tails and understand marketing, because I think that one's a great conversational piece on it. Majority stuff coming from that, people typing it in like crazy. Why do people type it in? Because they got an estimate. They're having a specific problem. They're trying to do stuff they can't. They screwed it up. They can't fix it. One thing that drives me mad that nobody's doing this. One thing that's happened in recent history, this pandemic version of it, is that there's all these smart thermostats now. Consumers can't work on them, don't know how to work on them, trying to fix them, and nobody optimizes for service locally for them.
Right.
And all they got to do is talk about it on the pins for 90 seconds, and all this stuff goes up to the website's properly done, and then they're showing up for everything. I can't imagine how lucrative those are and how grateful those people would be turning into long-term clients because they called and they couldn't figure out their new smart thermostat.
Yeah.
You know?
We had the house we lived in, my family lived in previously, we had a smart thermostat.
Right.
And every time we hooked it up, I knew how to hook it up, but I would hook it up and the AC would turn on and turn off, turn on and turn off.
Right.
And I kept having to put the old analog one back on. And I eventually...
The mercury switch?
No, it was the wiring in the house.
Yeah.
It was an old house. It was built in the 50s. And the wiring in the house wouldn't support the thermostat. It couldn't get the signal to the AC unit to keep running, so it kept cutting off.
Wow.
And I had to call an HVAC person to learn that because they actually knew that. They had encountered it before.
Well, I mean, that's just one thing, you know.
Yeah.
People need to be thinking, you know, is the website great? Does it have the pages of stuff that we do? Does it have city pages? Has it worked on well? Is it updated? Do I have citations? Do I have reviews? Do I work on a medley of reviews? Do we text and email people for reviews? Do we, you know, are we tending to our digital brand? Is there other things that I can do? I just joined the chamber or just joined this. Did they give me a link back? You know, I was like, am I doing everything I can to participate in the greatest thing that's ever been available?
Right.
Which is Google and showing up organically for, maybe not for free. You have to have people like us help you, but it is the one thing I'll tell people is like the reason we focus on that, we can do other marketing here, but the reason we like organic is because even though it costs something, it's a great deal. It is the cheapest lead you're going to get, the best lead, and the best place to promote the company.
Right.
Anything else you do is just buying a lead or paying for a click, and there's never growth with that availability.
Yeah.
The price is going to go up and erode your profit to the point that it always makes you a little angry, you know. So,
like the phone call you had with the $50,000 a month ad budget.
Yeah. So if you screw up this part of it and you don't get this right, you will always be hustling up leads or clicks, and your business never grows properly.
Right.
That's why it's so important to view everything from the angle of marketing on business. Because that could have been how to view everyone from the angle of marketing.
Beer goggles sound better. It's funnier anyway.
It is. It doesn't work
More
perfectly,
interesting.
but it is interesting. Martin, the Martin goggles.
Bizarro world beer goggles because they work in reverse. They show you the truth.
The truth.
Yes.
The truth. The bizarro world. I don't know. What is that from?
Superman.
Superman.
Superman's the Bizarro. Bizarro is the version of Superman where everything is reversed. He's stupid and he has all of Superman's powers.
He's evil.
But
Evil.
sort of evil. He's just sort of mostly weird.
Yeah.
It depends on like what era of the comics you're looking at. Sometimes he's trying to be Superman and he ends up doing bad stuff because he doesn't understand what he's doing wrong. It just sort of depends.
Mm. Oh well.
Showing my nerd.
I remembered it. But yeah, I remembered it a little bit. But yeah, so anyway, there's so many great things with marketing, so many things that could be going on, and it's so, you know, it's so critical. Like it's so critical. If I had it, and again with HVAC, it's important that they market a little bit. That organic thing needs to go through the whole time,
right?
And then they need to be thinking about that, and they need to be ready for any sort of off month that they continue that thing.
Right.
You know, we talked about one right before this about impending, like when bad times come, how do you make money? You know, you make money by keeping your marketing strong. The lows are higher and the highs are higher, and it just smooths out all those ups and downs in the market, especially for that, and especially for these HVAC guy doesn't do no business during spring and fall. Right. He's got something going on, and he's going to do more work when he's marketed well. Right. During those times. So it makes everything better And I would argue that they probably never have a great business without proper marketing and understanding.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not only that, like, they have to do this, they have to get it down. But guys, I don't have anything else. That's it for me on it. If you got anything that you want to talk about, if you want us to be of service, give us a call, like, and subscribe.
You remembered this time.
I keep getting bugged about that, but we'd love to hear from you and love to help you out. We'll see you next time around.
Take it easy.